Hello, this is Simple Math for You. Lesson Writing and Interpreting Equations Part 2. أهلا بكم في Simple Math for You. درس كتابة وفهم المعادلات الجزء الثاني.
Now let's go to the opposite direction. Now the inverse direction هلا الطريقة العكسية. احنا بدنا نترجم هلا الجملة إلى معادلة. عندنا جملة مكتوبة verbally. يعني في sentence we need to translate it into an equation or formula. So let's do it. Twice a, so it is 2a increased by plus the cube of a, so it is a to the power 3 أس 3 cube. If it is square a, then it is a to the power 2. It is not 2a. This is twice a. Square means a to the power of 2. A cube means a multiplied by itself 3 times. So a cube means, for your information, it's a times a times a. But we don't want now to go into the details. We are going only to translate. Then a to the power 3 يعني a أس 3 is equal to b تساوي b. 7 less than, now 7 less than, remember, so 7 comes after, it's less than something. Less than what? Less than the sum of, put it into a bracket, so the sum of P and T is as much as أو تساوي 6. So 7 less than the sum of P and T, we will include in the bracket. We will put the 7 minus 7, then equals to 6. Number 11, the sum of, so the sum مجموع x من جهة and its square يعني مربعها, so it's x to the power 2 is equal to y times z, so y times z. Number 12, 4 times, so 4 multiplied by, open a bracket, the sum of f and g, مجموع f و g, is identical to تساوي 6 times g, so 6 times g. Number 13, the area A of a square is the length of square is to the power 2. The perimeter P, محيط triangle, محيط المثلث, perimeter P is equal to تساوي the sum of مجموع what? The sum of what? The lengths of the sides A, B, C. A plus B plus C. So we can put the bracket, we can ignore it. يعني ممكن نحط البراكت بهالحالة ممكن نشيله. طبعا التراينجل for your information هو المثلث له 3 أضلاع, 3 sides. Each we can call this A, this B, this C, not necessarily to be equal, مش بالضرورة يكونوا متساويين. Let's go to number 15. The perimeter of the rectangle, we just said it, perimeter is equal to 2 times the length plus twice the width. ضعف الويدث العرض وضعف الطول. The density of an object, كثافة شيء ما أو كثافة مقدار, the density D we can call it, is the quotient of يعني ناتج قسمة its mass الكتلة على الحجم and its volume V. So it is the quotient of its mass and its volume. Here we are here. We were able to translate many exercises. 17, simple interest. Simple interest, we can call it I. الفائدة is computed by, تحسب ب, finding the product of, حاصل ضرب, the principal amount P, so P times the interest rate R and the time T. So we can write it in this way. ممكن نكتبها بهذا الشكل P R T. ما في داعي نكتب dots. The surface area of a rectangular prism. طبعا this is the rectangular prism اللي هو المنشور الرباعي القائم. هذا rectangular prism. This is called rectangular prism. In Arabic, it's called متوازي المستطيلات. The surface area, we can call surface area. We can name it SA or S or area or whatever. نسميها اللي بدك إياه. Is twice times, so 2 times, the sum of, أفتح قوس, I put the bracket, the sum of مجموع the width times the height, so W times H, so I write W times H. And what else coming now? Length times width, so we call L times W plus length times height, so L times H. It's a big formula and it's a long one, and we can use it later to find the surface area of the rectangular prism. Then here is an exercise also. Plain and cinnamon raisin bagels are the most popular flavors. Each year, 24 million more than plus يعني twice as many packages of plain bagels. So we can call here packages of plain bagels directly. I will call it P. I will translate directly. Are sold as cinnamon raisin. So twice here, twice as many P, so it's 2P. Usually this is the number of cinnamon sold, يعني اللي تباع. Create an equation that can be used to find the number of millions of packages of cinnamon raisin bagels C sold last year. Usually we will translate and then we will replace. So first of all, we know that the cinnamon is 24 more, يعني 24 زائد plus twice the P, so we will write 2P. Now he said that we know that there were 136 million of plain bagels. So simply you just replace this by 136 and you will find the cinnamon. But we can do it later. Let's here. We replace here. P is 136, so C is 24 plus 2 times 136. We will replace and we'll find the cinnamon. So it is 2 times 136 plus the 24, which is 296 pieces. Okay, here we are. Now we have to move now to the interpreting equations. Interpreting equations mean we are going to real life situation and we want to know what this equation means, what are the conditions, شروط المعادلة، كيف شو لها علاقة بالمثال اللي احنا فيه وهكذا. Write a sentence for the equation. Now if you want to write the translation for this one, what can you say? Let's take a minute. What can you say? How can you translate it? Yes, you can write this one, 2z minus 1 equals 5. It's not the only translation. We can say the product of 2 and z minus 1, or subtracted by, let's change it, subtracted by 1. Is 5. This is one of the translation. We can have many more. We can say the difference of the product of twice a number and 1 is 5 and many more. We can say twice z decreased by 1 is equal to 5. We are not going to write everything. Let's try it here, try to choose the correct answers. Write a sentence for the equation. Let's choose here for the first one. Check. Which one is the correct translation? Perfect. A is the right one. Perfect. Let's see what if somebody else has chosen B. إذا واحد اختار B. شو الغلط؟ 6 times the quantity, so 6 times the quantity يعني أفتح قوس of a number Z minus 15 is equal to 45. Is it the same? هي نفس الشيء؟ طبعا غلط. So this is wrong definitely. Let's check C. 6 times the difference. So I'll put 6 times the difference. I'll open a bracket and I put minus difference الفرق. أفتح قوس. A number Z and 15 is equal to 45. This is also wrong. This is not the same as this one. You compare here. Compare by قارن بالسؤال مختلف. Now D 6 plus Z 6 plus Z minus 15 equal 45 طبعا مختلفة تماما. It's very different than the one he mentioned. So the only answer, only correct answer is A. الجواب الصحيح A. Let's see B. Y plus 3O square is equal to 25. Which one is the correct one? Of course, this is C. بالطبع هذا هو الجواب الصحيح. Let's translate the first one. Y plus 3 squared. So Y plus 3 only squared is 25. He didn't mention the sum squared. He didn't mention the quantity squared. So the only squared now number is the 3. B y squared, this is wrong, by y squared plus 3 is 25. So y is the one that is squared. Y هي المربع, هي اللي to the power 2, هي اللي أس 2 plus 3 is 25. So this is also wrong. The third one, the quantity, so it's y plus 3 squared. So أكيد y plus 3 كل ال quantity square, which is correct, equal to 25. Now the last one, y plus 3 is 25. طبعا this is very clear that it's wrong. هذا من الواضح انها خطأ لانه مش كل ال quantity squared. ممتاز. So now here this is another solved example. Let's see here. We have many correct answers. Which answers are correct? Perfect. So this is correct. This is correct. And this is also correct. Check them. If you have a question, you can ask later. This is a quick also revision of what we have said. Let's choose some exercises to solve here. Write a sentence for each equation. اكتب جملة لكل معادلة. طبعا we will have many possible answers. هيكون عندنا أكثر من جواب لكل سؤال. So you can choose the one you feel comfortable for you. يعني مثلا في هذا السؤال j plus 16 is equal to 35. We can say j plus 16 is 35. We can say 16 more than j is 35. We can say the sum of j and 16 is 35. All of these are correct. But here, for example, you have to be careful. What can we say here? We have to say 7 times. And since it is in quantity here, you have the choice to say times the sum of a number p and 23 is or as much as 102. 7 ضرب المجموع مجموع p و 23. ممكن كمان نقول 7 times the quantity p plus 23 is equal to 102. This is also correct. Let's take one here. We can say here 4 times m is 52 is the simplest one, and we can say the product of 4 and m is 52. We can say 4 times m is as much as 52. Okay, let's move one more step. What about this one? We can say r squared minus or subtracted by 15 مطروح منها 15 is the same number t, or not the same number, it's another number t, another number plus 19 or added to 19. Okay, Let's go here with fractions. This is 1 over 3, ثلث, 1 على 3. So we are not saying 1 over 3, we will say 1/3 subtracted by 4/5 of z, يعني multiplied by z, is equal to 4/3 y cubed, which is y to the power 3, مكعب العدد y. And let's take another example here. We can say here 8 times the quantity, since there is a bracket طالما في قوس, so quantity. What is the quantity? This is the quantity. The quantity is twice y minus or subtracted by or less only without less than 6 times x. Finished, the quantity finished. خلصت the quantity. Now we move to equal or is 4 more than twice x. There are many examples. Here you can say here also 1/2 the sum of f and y is as much as or is equal to f minus 5 or less 5 بدون less than. Okay, here let's have a look here. Let's match which expression matches to the question. Have a look. Now we can answer. This matches with B, this matches with C, and this with A, and this with D. Perfect. Let's go more advanced, higher order thinking problem. Determine whether the two sentences describe the same equation and explain. هل الاثنين يعبروا عن نفس التعبير أو نفس المعادلة أم لا؟ نشيك. لازم نكتب كل واحدة ونشوف هل هم الاثنين نفس النتيجة أو لا. We have to write both of them and we have to check whether both of them leads to the same equation or not. The product of x and y plus z equals to w. So first of all we have a product حاصل ضرب. So we will write x and y حاصل ضربهم, then plus z equals to w. Done. The second statement, the product of x, so in the product حاصل ضرب مقدارين أو كميتين. x from one side من جهة، الجهة الثانية فيها شو؟ The sum of, I open a bracket, there is a sum between y and z is equal to w. Are they the same? Of course not. They are not the same. So the answer here is no. Let's see here. Determine whether the equation is an accurate translation of sentence. The square of the product of 4 and the number. So we have a product first of 4 and a number. Number, let's say it's n. And then the square of this product مربع هذا حاصل الضرب الموجود. So we will square it, we'll raise it to the power 2, is equal to 8 times 8 ضرب the sum of مجموع the number, same number اللي هو ال n and the 6. So this is correct. Let's see the other one. 3 more than 1/2 a number. If you write 1/2 a number, so we will say 1/2 times a number is equal to 2 less than is coming after less than the number. Of course this one هذا ممكن نكتب بالطريقة الثانية. We can write it this way because more than can be from this side or from the other side. It's equal to this one, but it's not equal to the expression he is talking about here. هو كاتبها division مش multiplication. Is this equal to that? Of course not. If you want to simplify this n over 1 over 2, this means n divided by 1 over 2, which is n times 2 over 1, which is 2n. Means twice n, not half of n, which means his translation was wrong. إذن هذا خطأ. And this was the first lesson. هذا كان الدرس الأول. نرجو أن يكون فيه الفائدة. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.